Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. And we are here to rant and rave. 100 episodes.
This is our 100th episode.
Yes.
Jessica, that means we've been going for 2 years.
I know. And I really thought by now we would be sitting with a margarita on top of Machu Picchu.
Yeah, live podcasting from the top of Machu Picchu. Me too.
Best internet in the world.
That's right. And then I was like, and of course, then we'll have to pack up and hurry our way to start our tour in Australia. What happened? You know what?
I would be so happy.
Oh God. It's been a life dream of my life for the last 5 years, as long as I've been podcasting. It's been a dream of mine. I would love to tour, podcast tour.
Yes.
I would love it. It would make me so happy. And one of the reasons is we have listeners all over the world.
Yes.
And we talk to them.
Uh-huh.
And I want to meet them.
I
want to meet you guys.
I do too. I have a feeling that our friends down under might be able to secure Paul Hogan as our first guest on our tour
you have
down
that
under.
Feeling? Is that the feeling you have, Jessica?
Oh, a girl can dream.
How old is Paul Hogan now? Because he was older when we loved that older man.
I mean,
he's got to be 117.
I don't know how old he is.
Still handsome because he was great. He was real wrinkly when I was in love with him, and I still loved him. And I wasn't like, oh, I want to iron that out. Nope, I was like, I'll take it as it is.
Does this lead us to my really odd choice of people that I had a crush on the Love Boat? Almost the oldest, not Captain Steubing, but Doc. Adam the doctor. Why was I attracted to him as a young child? I need you to explain that.
No clue. I do not have a clue. Even as an adult, I do not find him. I don't find the memory of him attractive.
No.
I cannot punish you for that. I can't judge you because I've told you my weird ass child crushes. One of my first loves was Scotty from Star Trek.
That's actually cute and endearing, and I bet part of it was his accent.
I'm sure it was. It just hit me too. He was Scottish, right?
Yes.
And that's why they called him Scotty?
Yeah.
I was this old woman before I ever realized. This is a moment we have all shared that's life-changing because I never connected those dots.
This is so groundbreaking and amazing.
It's so obvious. So obvious. It would be like calling a cat meow meow. And I never got it.
This is absolutely perfect.
100th episode, biggest lesson ever. Scotty was Scottish.
Oh, man.
Was that racist of them?
No, I think it's cute.
It is? Okay.
Scotty.
I don't think you got it.
I think it also works because Scott is a real name. Correct. And actually, my boss, as like a term of endearment, called her husband Scotty.
Yeah.
So, not because of the Scottish thing, but just as like a nickname. So,
was his name Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when Dan Tipton was little, people called him Danny.
That's cute.
And then he grew out of it and didn't like it.
I can't picture him as a Danny right now.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I would only call him Danny if I wanted to infuriate and humiliate him.
Do you ever call him Daniel?
No, I call him Dan Tipton. But he has a lovely middle name. Did you know his middle name? So, my son's middle name is my maiden name. Mm-hmm. So that's a tradition in the Tipton family. So Dan Tipton's name is Daniel Matthews Tipton.
Oh, that's
Isn't
nice.
That lovely?
Yes, how regal.
I know. I like that tradition. I hope it carries on in my family.
Totally. I love that.
Man, what kind of mouse path did we just take? I feel like we're mice in a maze. My mouth is just like taking us all over.
That's very weird and coincidental that you say that, because this afternoon I'm going to be heading to the post office to mail the game Mousetrap to my nephew for his birthday. Do you remember Mousetrap?
Absolutely. We got it for my son. Fun.
Ah, it's so cool. Of course, I'm like, am I just being old? And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Back in my day.
So. Well, well, I see what you're saying. Definitely. I bought it for my son and he loved it. And I didn't have it as a child. I think it was expensive. That's so funny because you and I were just talking in the green room dump. I said that there should be a game of when people talk about things they didn't have when they were kids. Was it, especially food? I said, was it expensive or fattening? But Mousetrap is one of those games that I think it was expensive. Like I didn't have a Barbie head that was shoulders and a head that you could brush your hair and put makeup on because it was expensive. And I always wanted one. So you know what I did instead?
What?
A couple of weeks ago, I bought a Elsa Frozen doll that's head and shoulders for a friend of mine's daughter because I didn't have a girl.
Oh.
And so I'm living vicariously through this child.
And you're like, I can come over and show her how to use it.
I will. I'll bring my own makeup. I don't want to dip into hers. She's only like almost 2.
So I did have the Barbie head that did that.
Humble brag.
But guess what? It only has so much hair in there. So you best believe I just cut away the first day and then it ran out of hair. My mom was like, sorry, tough
Jessica,
luck.
You're not supposed to cut their hair. You brush it and put makeup on them. You don't.
Well,
I never understood you girls. As a poor child, I was like, why do these girls chop the hair off their dolls?
Yes, and I drew all over their face with markers. I didn't really like dolls. They weren't my thing.
You didn't deserve them. I didn't love dolls. Like I hated my Donny Osmond doll. I kept popping his head off because my mom forced that. Have I never told you that? I think I talked about it on my old podcast.
Was it like a figurine? Like it was like a Ken doll, but it was Donnie?
Yes. It was Donny Osmond.
Oh my God.
He had a purple jumpsuit with big lapels.
Stop it.
Perfect chompers, of course, right? Like today, I would absolutely adore that doll. And I didn't want it. My mom wanted it. And she bought it for me.
Hilarious.
I wanted Barbies with tans, things that I can't attain.
Yep. Malibu Barbie.
Yes. So I kept popping his head off, hoping it would get lost and she'd get mad at me. But today I would love that thing. Girls, that I learned the lesson of don't mess up your dolls real early because I wanted that baby doll that you put the bottle in its mouth and you could hear an electrical noise, but its neck went in and out like it was drinking. And it was like, meow, 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 meow. And and as you tipped the bottle, the liquid looked like it disappeared.
Okay, I had one with a bottle that disappeared, but it didn't have an animatronic neck that looked and sounded like it was possessed.
Yes. Well, I made it worse because I thought she had the most beautiful eyes and they were on that plastic doll head. They're always giant and blue and they have a center light spot in the middle that's a reflection of light, right? I was like, I don't like that white spot. So I scratched it off. And then I was like, oh, now it looks weird. So I kept scratching until she had no eyeballs.
No.
My mother was furious because
and horrified.
Yes, because I'm sure she paid a pretty penny for it, And I kept saying, it's okay. I still love her. And I did. So I had this eyeless baby doll that moved its neck and drank its bottle. Meow, meow, meow.
I'm so scared.
I did love her. I loved her.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh boy, this mouth phase is really. How was your week? Let's get through that and we'll move on.
It was fine. No real excitement except my favorite store on the planet. They opened a mega Target in the center of Hollywood. Now we have 2 in the Valley that I love, but I had to go check out that new one and it was worth the drive over the hill. I'm just going to say that.
That is so interesting. You and I are very different because I am terrified of new Targets.
I mean,
I
I can
don't
understand that.
I get overwhelmed. I don't know where anything is. I am like, "Where's the escalator?" Because I'm in a two-story. I don't
Yes.
know if yours is if the
No, and I
Hollywood
missed that one. The one by you, I always loved having to put my escalator on the ramp
your
to go
shopping cart?
upstairs.
Yes.
Yes.
Whenever I've had, like, family or friends come
Mhm.
visit or somebody new move here, they're like, "What is this?" It's so scary to them, but it's comforting to me. So
Right?
when I go to another one, I'm like, "This doesn't feel right. Where's the toilet paper?"
This one's pretty giant, and it has multi levels of parking
Yeah,
that
I
are the
like that.
size of the store,
I like that.
but
I
it's
have that
just
too.
one level. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's kind of like a department store. First of all,
Mhm.
like, because when I've been going to them, when I've been in San Diego for work over the last year, I'm like, why is this the nicest Target I've ever been into? Why do they have a giant swimwear section, a giant loungewear section, a giant lingerie section?
Hmm.
And none of ours have nearly that selection or the size.
Mhm.
This one did, and their grocery store was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
My Target grocery is meh.
Also, just shows you how old I am and the things that give me joy in life.
Mhm.
What was my favorite purchase? These goggles. Why? Because my friend's child that I babysat for last summer, and there was a lot of outdoor time between he and I, and I'd put him in his kiddie pool. And I promised him every week, I'm like, I swear I'm going to bring you goggles when I can find them. But everyone was sold out last summer.
Right, yeah.
Everyone. Every
Mhm.
time I went, that awesome, the one spot or whatever, those $1 to
Yeah, dollar
$5 bins
spot.
at Target.
Yeah, yeah.
One pair of goggles left, and you best believe I snatched them faster than anyone could even put their eyes on them.
Oh, good. My son has, like, 3 pairs. He won't go without because he loves diving.
Yes, and
Yeah.
opening his eyes, right?
Uh-huh, yeah. And I
I
don't want
love
him
it.
opening his eyes in that chlorine because it's hard on your eyes, and then also because of
Yes,
the fecal matter. I'm not interested
totally.
in having fecal matter in my child's eyes.
No, and it also burns like hell, and it makes your eyes
Yeah.
so
It's not good
bloodshot.
for you,
No,
yeah.
no, no, no. How was your week?
My week was rather uneventful, but I was very content,
Mhm.
and happy. Like I use content and happy, I think, in the same way. Like to me, happiness comes from contentness. Maybe they're kind of like best friends.
Yes.
So not a lot was going on, but guys, remember how what was it 6 months ago? I was like, yeah, I'm getting into plants, but I'm not going to ever buy grow lights. I'm not crazy. The only reason I haven't bought grow lights is because I said that to y'all.
Uh,
Every time there's not a day that goes by that I don't try and look at a IKEA upgrade cabinet. Have you seen those?
mhm,
The
mhm.
humidifier cabinets. I don't know what the technical name is,
Yep.
but people turn them into. I mean, they've got anthuriums in there. They've got all kinds of aeroids. Anything that needs a lot of humidity, they pop them in there.
Mm,
And they look stunning, right? It's like museum plants.
I like
So
it.
this weekend we gave the choice to my husband. I said, "Do you want to go to the beach? We need to get out and do something, right? Something outdoorsy.
Mhm.
Do you want to go to the beach or would you like to go to the cactus ranch?" Well, my husband's not a huge fan of the beach. So he was like, "Hey, let's go to the cactus ranch." Y'all, that place was huge. And I
Did he
saw
like it?
things. He loved it. My husband actually really loves succulents.
Hmm.
Yeah, he loves cacti, he loves we wanna do if we ever have the money wait, I'm gonna be positive, when we have the money,
Mhm.
we wanna do a xeriscape front yard.
Cool.
Because did you know, Jessica, that they're already predicting for California one of the worst droughts we've ever had, like the longest drought we've ever had this year?
Oh boy.
It's predicted already. And I'm like, "Great, I picked a wonderful year to start obsessing over plants. Awesome."
Oh my god.
So anyway, we would like to do xeriscape front yard. So he's always fascinated by succulents. We saw
Awesome.
things that I didn't know existed. Have you ever seen a blue brain cactus?
No, but I freaked when I saw your picture. So
You guys,
cool.
I know I'm always plugging my own social media. It's not because I think I'm super cool. It's because I live somewhere cool and I see cool things. So if you don't follow me personally, you don't even have to follow me, but definitely go look at my Cactus Day pictures. They had
Mhm.
giant dinosaurs, like metal dinosaurs. and all kinds of industrial farm equipment they've turned into planting pots. And so I did buy a bunch of tiny, our friend Thomas, our mutual friend Thomas
Yes.
told his Uber driver one day, yeah, it's that house with all the tiny plants. Well, that's just getting worse. Because then I'm like, it was only $3. It was only $1.99.
Yes. And you propagate them.
I do, times 500. No, I do. You guys, if I could invite you all personally over for a plant pick party, I have so many babies. But here's the thing. When I'm like that cat rescue lady, we all know her, that's like trying to give you the kitten, but you're going to take good care of it, right? I mean, I saw pictures of your apartment, but you're going to make sure she's loved and taken care of. Don't neglect. Are you going to get her a kitty friend? I am that way with plants. So when I hand you over the 14 plants that I've grown for you, and that's the thing too, I grow them with intent. I say, I'm growing you for Jessica because we love her. That's how crazy I am.
So
I infuse your baby plants that I know I'm going to give you with Jessica love from Dana.
I can feel the love.
I hope that happens. When I give people plants, I hope they feel my love. So anyway,
You know what?
I went to this insane, amazing place. Go look at my pictures if you can, just because I've never seen anything like it.
I really hope that science fairs make a comeback once school is back in person, because maybe, just maybe, you could hint and strongly suggest to Henry that he can do a plant experiment, like playing heavy metal to one and classical music to the other.
Or maybe I'll just do that on my own. It doesn't take a science fair. I am not joking. When I put my friend Krista Marie thinks I have absolutely lost it, because she was like, do you keep all these plants out here? And I was like, I bring them out for sunshine every day. She's like, what? She's from Boston. And I go, no, I'm not kidding. It helps me wake up in the morning. I get up, I start getting Henry ready. I open all the blinds and I start carrying all of my little planties out for morning sunshine because they won't get burned. And
they live a very nice life.
It's a discipline for me. It's a structure. Yes. It gets me going. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's why I do say plants are my therapy. They really, really are. Honestly, what was my week, plants? Are we surprised? But I will say we're all vaccinated now.
Yes.
And I have slowly been seeing people. So like Krista Marie went with my family to the Cactus Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
My little friend Kate came over. We did a trivia night for Dan Tipton's high school to raise money for scholarships and alumni association, you know. And that was a blast. We did it with all of our friends. She's actually originally from St. Louis, and so is Dan Tipton. So I was with Dan Tipton, had to work overnight on his show 3 nights last week. So he was working. So she got to meet all these other old St. Louis people because, you know, she's young. And I was like, come play trivia with all us old people. And she's delightful and was like, I'd love to. We had a blast. And Jessica, I don't want to make you jealous, but they did say we were kind of thinking it was going to be Jessica. So she'd be their son. I think it was Bobby. You remember the video?
Yes.
Of Erica singing Weirdo. Yes. He was going to sing it to you.
I would have loved it. I really wanted to come.
I know, but it ended up being a blast because Kate is from St. Louis, so we had a great time.
I don't know if you remember, but you guys called me, and that was quite hilarious.
We did?
Yeah.
Wait, just prick my brain a little bit.
You guys called me, and you couldn't stop laughing. You were going nuts.
We were pretty tipsy. I do remember calling you. We were asking you for advice. You tried to help us, and we completely failed on everything we did that night. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We turned on. So remember I told you about my party light? So I bought this little teeny tiny LED light that literally is a LED disco ball. We turned that on, pumped up some music, and had a 2-person dance party on my porch. And Henry kept going, Mommy, are you going to lay down with me? Is it time for night? And I was like, you can go when you want, honey. I'll just dancing like a crazy person. It was very fun. But I'm saying, I guess my point is, life is starting to come back a little
Yes.
bit because we're
Yes.
getting
Yes.
vaccinated.
Yes.
I'm planning a trip back home.
Nice.
My mother's 1 year passing anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a technical term, is coming up next month.
Mm-hmm.
And her headstone is
Mm-hmm.
going to be finished, and we're very proud of it. It's very beautiful. My dad really helped put it together, and my little
Oh,
sister kind of made some changes, and it's something that my mother would absolutely love.
oh, that's
So,
lovely.
yeah, so I'm planning a trip back home to see that and spend time with family. Not immediately, but sometime very soon,
Mm-hmm.
because we are able to maybe do that a little bit more now.
Yes.
So that's very exciting for
No, that's
everyone,
great.
and also very stressful because if I have more than one thing to do in a day, I freak out.
I can totally
Because we've
relate
been
to that.
used to not. All right, should we get into our show? I mean, we're
Let's do
halfway
it.
we're halfway through the show as far as time goes. What? Over the pandemic, I swear I haven't looked at time at all because I'm like, all we got to do is talk. There was nothing else to do besides clean
I
and like
know.
stuff we don't want to do
I know.
or go to work. Here, isn't it ironic that I was like, all I want to do is go to work? And some
I
people I
know.
know it was like, all I want to do is not work and be
I
safe. It was
know.
such a weird thing.
Totally.
Anyway, here we
Hopefully,
go.
we're coming out of that.
I hope so. It feels like we are, and hope is powerful.
Indeed.
All right, Jessica, you're up first for your rants.
All right. Well, this rant is about, well, at least one of the two offenders is going to be moving out of my building. So I'm
No.
real excited about that.
Are you serious? How'd you find out?
Oh, because they shouted it to everyone that they've come in contact with, as they do with everything. They don't know how to talk at a normal level.
But what
So
did
I've
they shout?
that they were moving.
They said, hey, we're finally moving, you fuckers.
They didn't say finally, but every person that walks down the street, they're like, hey, what's up? We're moving. Yeah, we got a house. I know where it is, the whole 9 yards. Okay. What is
So
this
it
rant
was
about? Huh?
friendly, though. It was friendly, not like,
No,
we
they
hate
yell
you and
because they
we're
don't know how to
leaving.
talk at a normal level. It's not
No, but
about,
they were just letting you know and not being like,
they
screw
didn't tell
you.
me. I don't
Oh,
talk to them. We
you're
had our,
you're
come to whatever. No, they do not talk to me.
Jessica,
And I do not talk to them.
your head shakes and your hand waving for no are so aggressive. I'm worried about your neck.
Because I refuse to talk. Like, that ship sailed a long, long time ago. So this rant is about people who live in apartment buildings, or if you're in an office building, or God forbid, a medical center or hospital. I'll just
Yeah.
throw those in too. Slamming the door, not for effect. There's
No.
a difference.
Yeah. Just letting it.
I
do
can
it.
appreciate a good dramatic, well, I'm leaving, and slamming the door. I mean, that's very dramatic and very like of a play from yesteryear is what I'm fantasizing in my mind. But this isn't because someone's angry. This is out of sheer laziness. This is
Yeah.
because instead of having the gumption to take an extra, I'm sorry, what is it, half a second
Yeah.
to slowly close the door behind you and shut it like a normal person, just having to pull it and have no follow through, and that door just slamming shut. And I'm surprised
Yeah.
you've never heard it when we record. And I guess
No, I
maybe
haven't.
it actually, I always think it's going to show up on the recording, and I guess it doesn't.
No.
It happens all the time. Number one, it makes me jump out of my skin.
Sure. It's jarring.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's woken me up out of a dead sleep. It's been in the middle of a Zoom, whether it's professional or personal. It's been while we're recording. It's morning, noon, and night. And it's two different neighbors. And I have many times, I told you, I'm the queen of being passive aggressive, screamed, shut up. That doesn't help. I don't
No.
think they know I'm talking to them, let
No.
alone the door.
Can't you? I would cover their door in post-its that say, like, have you ever seen those videos of people that cover cars in post-its when they
Yes.
park in a handicap spot? I would cover their door in multicolor post-its that say, please close softly. And I would do that until they stopped slamming their door.
That is way too nice. Please close softly.
Then just put close softly.
No.
I just don't want that to have the opposite effect where they slam harder, because I'm not a door slammer. My mom put the fear of God in us about door slamming. Like, we literally would have put our head between the door and the door frame to keep it from making a noise before we would slam the door, because my mother would get furious.
She hated it
So
too, I bet.
hated it.
Yes.
Hated it. My dad doesn't like it either. So we weren't screamers, and we weren't like little girls that scream on a trampoline. That was not us. Because they said it scared them. They thought we were hurt.
Yeah.
But I think it just annoyed them. But either way, it doesn't matter. So we weren't screamers and we weren't door slammers. The only time I ever slam a door is for dramatic effect. If I'm mad at Dan Tipton, I will slam a door.
Yes.
But I will turn around and hold that doorknob with two hands and pull, yank, so that I get a cat slam.
I thought you were going to say you were pulling the door, holding it so he couldn't come in to say, "What is wrong with you? No. Why would you do that?"
No.
And you're like, No,
but it's wrong. I've only done that like 2 or 3 times, because we actually teach Henry too that it's not polite to slam doors.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know. No, they do it a lot, and I'm telling you, it is so jarring, and it shakes the freaking building.
Yes, and it rattles the
building.
The windows, it rattles. I know. I don't think I've ever known a person who has lived in an apartment that didn't have that complaint. There's always someone.
Yep.
There's
and again,
always one of them.
Pure laziness. Just can't be bothered. Again.
They are also usually the person that opens all their windows and screens and everything and plays their TV loud.
Yes.
So that you
blast their music.
Absolutely. And oh, okay, you're watching reruns of Once Upon a Time. Great. I don't need to know that. It's ridiculous. It's like, have some respect for a common shared space.
Yes. It seriously drives me crazy.
I don't blame you.
And one of the people that does it has a dog that won't shut the F up all the time. So I'm like, your dog has anxiety. I've had to hear you talk about that ad nauseum. I guarantee you that door slamming ain't helping.
No, definitely not. It's like a cannon to that poor dog.
Yes.
He's like, we're going to war.
Oh, I meant to tell you, just as a follow-up, I'm not going to be nice. By the time it reaches me putting a note up, it ain't going to be nice. Oh. I have taped notes to their door saying, if I have to hear you or your children scream at each other one more time, I'm going to call the police.
Die.
That's where I go. That's where I go. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, the other one that has the dog that I can't stand, they're so nice that I don't have the heart to put a note up. Oh. I just seethe in anger quietly.
Right. And grind your teeth. You're going to have nubbins in your mouth before.
Well, you know why? Because here I am whispering because our walls are so thin. The son is training. He wants to be a MMA fighter.
Oh.
Very nice kid. Seriously. He's very polite. He always says hello. He's like probably 18, 19 years old. Him and his mom, they're both very nice, very polite. Mm-hmm. He trains like in the carport area.
Yeah.
For our building. So it echoes like he hits a punching bag. And so you hear, pa, 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 pa. Well, it's echoing because it's under the building and it's down a big driveway. So I felt so bad, but I was recording an audition and I was about to lose it because I didn't have time to wait anymore. And just like with you, I had Alan home and he had to go to work. And I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind because he goes,
for the record, lady, I can help you out anytime you need.
Thank you.
I know that. I had to do one last night and I almost lost my mind because Henry accidentally turned on voice access on the TV. So in the middle of my audition, I could hear, if you'd like to open YouTube, like I was like, no, because it is a trigger. Like you're just trying to do your job and you're hearing. Huh, huh, huh. Also, I feel like that might make me feel guilty for not working out myself, or B, go, oh goodness, I can't focus. What is that? It sounds so manly. What's happening? It could be distracting.
Well, here's why I felt bad. Alan went outside, and it's good that he did, not me, because I'm not so good. Once I'm at a certain level of anger, I'm not a maniac, but I can't pretend. You see it in my
Same with
face.
me. I
You
have no
see it in my
poker
face.
face. I have
Same
no
with you.
poker face, no poker voice.
So I'm like, I'm going to lose it. And he goes, let me go out there. And Alan's very nice. And he goes, hey, man, he goes, I'm so sorry. He goes, we're trying to record something real quick in here. Do you mind just giving us like 10 minutes? And the kid was he goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Aw.
He's never been back out there since.
Oh, no.
I know. So it's at a point where, you know, that awkward thing where you're like, I need to say something. I need to say something. Oh, now it's been so long. Now I feel like it's weird to say something. I'm like, do I say something and go, hey, man, remember a couple of weeks ago when blah, blah, blah?
Mhm.
You can do that, man. Just, I'll let you know if I need you not. And I just thought, just shut up. I'm going to have diarrhea of the mouth. I'm just going to let it go.
Aw.
And you'll have to find somewhere else to punch.
Speaking of, here comes my loud child. Okay, bye.
That's sweet voice.
Well, I feel so bad for our kids. That's why I hope you guys don't mind that I just kind of let him run around. He happens to be out of school today, but it's like,
That's a child.
because of what I do, I'm constantly saying, can you be quiet for mommy? Mommy has to work. Can you be quiet? And I'm like, this is his home.
I know.
So the only time I try to like really be like, I can't handle it is if I'm recording an audition.
Of course.
But like if I'm podcasting or doing interviews or something, he's usually pretty good anyway. He kind of knows. So I try to be flexible with that for him because it's just not fair.
No, I know.
Anyway, all right, on to my rant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm slamming this door and opening yours.
All right, here it comes. People who talk ad nauseum about how busy they are. Humble bragging, no matter what your job, your family situation, or your list of hobbies is, chances are you consider yourself a pretty busy person. If you're constantly talking about how busy you are, however, it comes across as the most annoying kind of humble brag. We all have days when we're eager to share a personal victory, but don't know how to bring it up without sounding like we're patting ourselves on the back. Unfortunately, in many cases, what comes out is worse. A humble brag or a backdoor brag. Ooh, I don't like that one. Backdoor brag?
I don't like that either.
Unacceptable. We're not reading that. a way of boasting without outright saying that you're proud, what you're proud of. For instance, I had to hire a housekeeper because my new house is just too big for me to take care of alone. Okay. Yes, I never talk about how busy I am now, but I'm trying to reflect back because I think I may be that person who's like, oh God, I'm busy, but it's not.
No.
I'm not humble bragging. I'm actually about to go crazy. So I don't know which is worse. You know, the one that drives me nuts. And listen, we're probably all guilty of it and don't know, just with different things.
Sure.
So what drives me crazy is the people who work out all the time and can't stop talking about it. And every time they stand up, they're like, oof, sore today. Worked out. I got like 15,000 steps yesterday. Did a couple, whatever.
Burpees and squats.
I don't even know the terminology anymore. I'm like, I've been so inactive for so long, I don't remember. But anyway, that I'm always like, because it makes me feel guilty. And I'm like, you're bragging to me about how much you're working out. You are bragging to a plus size woman about how much you work out. Do you see that you are verbally spanking me and not in a fun way? That's a verbal spanking. But then on the flip side of the coin, Jessica, I text you constantly and say, I'm going to show you some plants. I start conversations with Dan Tipton like this. I know you won't understand any of this and you totally don't care, but a crassula is actually from the succulent family, but there are hundreds of different types of crassula and they are succulents. And that's why they have thicker leaves because they hold the moisture. But if you're going to worry about a water table, you still need to make sure that you tip your pot. Nobody cares.
That at least is informative. And yes, people have the choice and the right to be like, I'm good, or I don't need to hear about that.
Oh,
what I think is hilarious.
My husband doesn't have that choice.
You always ask my permission, and that makes me cry laughing. You're like,
because
Jessica?
I feel like I am painting you with my plant happiness, and you don't care, but I don't have anyone else to tell. Like one of my girlfriends the other day, she was like, I love your posts, blah, blah, blah. And it's not somebody I'm super close to, but I just adore, And
Yep.
so she was like, I said, I feel like everyone thinks I've lost my mind because I've gone plant crazy. She goes, no, all of my girlfriends we're all plant crazy during the pandemic. And I was like, where my people at?
Yep.
I don't have any. I shoved this stuff down Jessica and Dan Tipton's throats.
The best thing was when you texted me the other night, you said, are you busy? And I said, it depends why you're asking. Now, of course, I was kidding.
Right.
But I always laugh because sometimes I feel like friends ask, like they're going to intrude. And I mean, I appreciate that, but I'm like, you don't ever have to ask my permission.
Well,
for
I was
anything.
going to intrude. And sometimes I'm either intruding with like, how do I do this? How do I cook that, or what's in it and what's it mean? Or I'm going to show you pictures of plants you don't care about.
How do you cook that? You mean like the 2 squash that you bought for your child that
I didn't buy 2.
Became his pets? Well, you got him a squash and a coconut.
Yeah.
Or you didn't get him the coconut?
No, we got him the coconut. He broke it open. He took a drink and kind of made a face. And then Kristen Marie took the coconut home.
Amazing. He's like, this doesn't taste like milk.
No. But we do still have the pet Cochamamo squash.
You have that kabocha squash still.
It's in a pretty pot.
It hasn't collapsed?
No. I don't know what it is, but do you know that I still have 3 of our pumpkins and 4 squash from Thanksgiving outside as decoration?
And they haven't collapsed?
No. They are perfect. That's why I refuse to throw them away.
Okay, I would do the same thing. I'm actually shocked.
They're those fairy tale pumpkins that look like all wonky and squishy.
I love those.
And they are perfect. I have a white one and an orange one, and I refuse to throw them away. They're outside. When it gets hot, they will rot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I've had them since October.
That's nuts. Too bad. Wait, can you do any composting in your yard?
I don't have a composting section set up.
Look at my eyes. You need to get the thing that you feed earthworms to enrich your soil.
Yes, I have been looking at a couple of different types of composting because we used to compost when I was a kid. My dad put all the lawn trimmings in this big chicken wire thing and it would smoke. It would burn in the middle. It was really cool.
Crazy.
But you can there's so many different kinds nowadays, especially because not everybody has the room for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's countertop composting.
Oh, yeah.
There is earthworm composting, and then you collect the worm castings, which is very nutrient for your soil. So I've been looking at 2 or 3 different methods of composting. I will say they're not cheap.
It's another problem we have. Why are things that are beneficial to us and to the environment not cheap?
It's that way with food.
I know.
You want to eat healthy. In our home right now, my son is always he's a pretty good eater, like as far as he's got his certain things he likes and he's good, right? But for me and Dan Tipton, we're trying to, we're not spring chickens over here. Right. So he's been doing no sugar, no flour, no carbs, for a couple of months. And of course is dropping weight as if it's dead skin, just sloughing off of him.
Yep.
I, for a year, have been grieving and starving and crying and then gorging. So... But we've both lost. I've lost some weight,
yes.
And we're working on it. We're trying to get more active. I'm riding my bike. He's trying to figure out what he would like to do. Where I'm only eating meat maybe twice a week, trying to get off of it completely. He's not eating meat. He has only cheated twice. He's only had meat twice in 2 or 3 months. He's not looking to become vegetarian like me. My reasoning for it is we've talked about it ad nauseum, humane. But so anyway, we're trying to make lifestyle changes in that way.
It's awesome. Look, any change is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, at least for me. I just want to say too, sometimes I wonder if we think people are humble bragging and they don't even know it.
I think they know it.
Do you? Because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes
It's like
if I've
all the
been
people I know that would be like, I just feel so fat. And I remember losing it once on a friend, having to sit around with friends in string bikinis talking about how fat they felt and all that. And I was like, you're saying it to the wrong person.
I know, you're like, you're insulting me to my face. To my face, you're insulting me right now. No, but I always say when I have a girlfriend, because, and here's what I equate it to. I feel like this is getting a little real right now. Here's what I equate it to. When people tell me and genuinely mean it, you are so beautiful. Your
Mhm,
skin is perfect. You know, they say things like this.
mhm.
I instantly go, ew, no, it's just good lighting. It's just, like
Right?
I cannot see it. And that will be a lifelong struggle for me. I was the oldest. I was overweight. Was. I am a plus size person. And my middle sister was jaw-droppingly stunning. My
Mhm.
baby sister is gorgeous. Like, I felt like I was the ugly one, and that's childhood trauma that
Yeah.
I'm trying to. So when people say to me, "Oh, you look beautiful," I can't hear it. So when someone says to me,
Right.
"I feel so fat," and I wanna beat them to a bloody pulp
Mhm.
so that they can understand from swelling what fat really is. I always say to them, "Okay, I understand that you feel different about your body, but I'm telling you, you look amazing." I try
Mhm,
to be
mhm.
as understand
Of
because I
course.
am the same as you. I'm like, and the reason I've come to that is because, and this is why I say I'm getting real here. This is like a
Mhm.
little peek into the Dana closet. Because of what I do, because I make a living as an actor, there are times that what people don't realize sometimes is when we shoot something,
Mhm.
you may not see it for 6 months or a
Right.
year. And
Mhm.
so I may have two or three things come out at once, but I've shot them at very different times
Right.
and haven't, I was on something a few weeks ago, I don't whatever it was, I don't know, but people were like, "Oh, you can't stop working." I'm like, "No, you saw a rerun and something I shot a year ago."
Uh-huh.
So, I haven't done anything in a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, when I complain, like, "Ugh, I'm so frustrated. I don't know why I'm not, I'm getting avails or I'm getting pins or I'm whatever, but I'm not booking." I recognize now that that
Mhm.
may sound like such a brag and be infuriating to someone who hasn't made it to my level. But then the people ahead of me are so far ahead of me that they're
Mm.
like, "What are you complaining about? Just quit then."
Mhm.
Right? So I'm in this middle tier of I'm not allowed to complain either way.
Right.
And that's hard for me sometimes
Mhm.
because I don't ever want to insult the people who are coming up and are like, "Dana, I would cut off my right arm to be where you are."
Right.
But I also still feel like, hey, sometimes I'm frustrated.
Mhm.
I haven't worked because of the pandemic in over a year.
Mhm.
I haven't been on set and paid to work. And
Right.
that is difficult for me and my family. Are there
Mhm.
other ways that I'm helping support my family's income? Yes. But that's my career.
Right.
That's where I get a lot of my own personal validation. And
Mhm.
so I guess I should say, yes, that makes me mad when people humble brag and all of that. But I try to temper myself and realize you make people mad sometimes and probably don't realize it.
I mean, I think we all do.
I mean, I think I am a lover or hater kind of person. I think people either like me a lot or I infuriate them so they can't be around me. I don't think there's an in between for Dana Powell.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we can move on. Did I explain myself or did I just ramble?
Sure. Both.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Should we do our cleansing breath?
Let's do it.
All right, you guys, we like to rant about the silly little things that get under our skin, get it all out, take a cleansing breath, and we're going to fill up with some funnies and goodness.
Mhm.
Take a deep breath in and out. All right, Jess, you're up first with a corner.
Okay, this makes me so excited. This is from one of our OG listeners, and she said, I had to send this in. I think I found your Weirdo of the Week. You're weird. You're so very weird. Why must you bring your weirdness here?
Yes.
Now, I have to say, I didn't think it was quite a Weirdo of the Week. I thought it was a what the what.
Really?
But I'm not going to argue with a listener. And because it's our 100th anniversary, I'm going to
100.
give you the song.
Yeah.
Ah.
I
By
wish
the
I had
way,
something to give. There's nothing. They're like, no, Dana's just loud and laughs ugly all the time. She has nothing to
no.
give.
Oh, you can write a song anytime. I also
Okay.
realized that I'm really getting into my macho man voice a whole lot lately. And I
Good.
don't think it's been helped by the fact that I started a new series, which we'll talk about at the end of the show.
Oh, exciting.
Oh boy, it sure is. Okay.
Teaser.
This is from the National Post, a new publication for Dana's Eyes and Ears,
Yay.
the Canadian publication. This is by Sweekar Ollie. Neighborhood.
That's not a real name. Go
It
ahead.
really is.
Nope, it's not. Go ahead.
Neighborhood spelled O-U-R, the Canadian way, the
way.
British way.
Uh-huh.
Neighborhood terrified by headless beast.
Okay, I'm into it.
His brown skin gleams in the sun. We are looking more closely. Poor guy has no legs or head, someone said.
What?
A woman who called in a menacing presence in her neighborhood turned out to be making a puffed up charge when Animal Rescue discovered the mystery creature was actually a croissant stuck up a tree.
I'm sorry, what?
Please,
I
right
can't.
now,
I'm not
please.
gonna lie. It does look like a miniature sloth or
I
something.
know. Animal welfare officers in a neighborhood in Krakow in southern Poland carefully. Oh, wait a minute. I thought this was in
Canada.
I think
Nope.
that's because it was from a Canadian listener. So, joke's
You're
on me.
wrong.
Animal welfare officers in a neighborhood in Krakow in southern Poland carefully approached the unfamiliar being and identified it was just inert pastry. The city's animal rescue group wrote on Facebook. An officer identified as Inspector Adam described the cautious advance. Suddenly, here he is. Got him! The brown creature is sitting on a lilac branch. The creature sits and doesn't move, exactly as the notifier described to us. Oh my God. The woman who peered out at the headless creature from her home for 2 days was dreading the day it would finally strike, according to the agency.
That is so funny to me because I would be trying to haul myself up that tree to rescue it. And she's like, I'm terrified of that thing.
Yep. Admittedly, I would be the person just staring at it, freaking out from my window.
Yeah.
She wasn't alone. Other residents in the neighborhood were afraid to open their windows for fear it would enter their home, she said, guessing that it was probably an iguana.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard and seen because I'm looking at this croissant. It is brown and obviously doesn't move.
And
flaky,
fat, chubby, like doughy.
No long tail.
No long tail, no green. I can't. Also, didn't know there was a big iguana population in Poland. Okay?
Maybe there is.
I mean, maybe there. I'm going to have to look into that. He's been sitting here for days and everyone is scared of him, she explained. Come and pick him up.
Everyone is scared of that flaky pastry.
I can't. The officers who displaced the dough were leavened by a rare laugh in a job that can more often get heavy, they write.
I don't like a pun. I don't like
either.
all those puns.
There's so many.
Sentence full of puns and I hate it.
Maybe David Moye moved to Eastern Europe.
Moye!
As their lighthearted tone suggests, the officers said they were clearly amused by the call. Having seen cats ill and abandoned, caged hamsters in the trash, and even fish in a street bucket, an iguana left in the cold to fend for itself is a less than remote possibility. It looks nothing like an iguana.
No.
God, what is wrong with these people? That's the end of the article.
I know. How funny that an entire neighborhood was petrified of a croissant.
A headless beast. And when you guys see this picture, I
Yeah, we
already
have to
know for a
post it.
fact, we're not going to have a poll. I know for a fact, unequivocally, this is one of those rare in lifetimes where I'm willing to bet my life on the fact that none of you will say, well, it kind of looks like a lizard.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a croissant.
Oh, man.
A listener sent that to us.
Yes.
I love it so much.
I love it too. And I love that she appreciates, she said, I always love hearing you say the way your mom pronounces French words, because this listener lives in Montreal, which is
Yeah.
my hometown
your
where I was born. And I love it. She said,
like your chicken cordon bleu.
yes. Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome.
Thank you for sending that in. That was fantastic. And no, that did not make the news here. So again, you guys, don't think just because you've seen it, oh, they've
A
already
million
seen it.
times. Yeah,
There are
yeah.
times where people have sent stuff and I'm like, thank you for sending it. And yes, we already were slating to use this. Or I'm like, yes, it's going in the show. So
yes,
keep it coming.
Keep it. Because you said there was an aside from another listener too.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
That LeVar Burton has an adult short story podcast.
Yes. Called LeVar Burton Reads, because we were talking about reading Rainbow. And the listener said, I just finished episode 86 of Rants and Raves, so I felt it important to tell you.
I love LeVar Burton. I did not know he had a podcast. I will be listening regularly.
I want him to read me stories.
Right?
Yes.
He was a part of our childhood.
100%.
LeVar Burton, banana clips and butterflies. That's all they all go together. Remember he wore banana clips on Star Trek over his eyes? Geordi, yes. I loved me a good banana clip. It made my hair look thicker than it is.
I thought they were so bad and cheesy even when they came out. And I remember somebody brought them to my birthday. A guy brought them to my 6th grade birthday and gave me a pack of banana clips.
I'll be honest. In the time that we've been talking about banana clips, I kind of want to go get one.
You know what? Shirley Goody, like one of those hair brands,
like
has
Dollar
to have
Dollar General, or somewhere at 99 cents. Somebody's got them, right?
Mm-hmm,
I might if I get one. I'm gonna solo bring that back.
It's like a faux hawk for the back of your hair.
It's gonna make my hair look so thick.
Oh my God!
Thank you, LeVar Burton. All right, we should move on to my corner. I have a Kids Are Amazing corner, and I love this because I've been obsessed with. I've watched probably 8 of these kinds of videos.
Mm-hmm.
Teen of first-generation immigrant parents earns a full ride to Harvard. I cannot. Coachella Valley teen defies odds with acceptance to Harvard University with a full ride scholarship. There's a video. You guys can watch it. I've been watching them nonstop. I saw one girl that got accepted to Harvard, Brown. There were 4 Ivy League schools. And I think she was the first person in her family to attend college. It was insane. God. Okay. Coachella Valley student who is the daughter of Mexican immigrants defied the odds after being accepted into one of the most esteemed universities in the country. Elizabeth Esteban has accomplished a dream that many young Latinos aspire to achieve, getting a full ride scholarship to Harvard University.
Wow.
No one in this community has been able to accomplish this, and I feel very proud and very thankful and very happy because no one here thinks someone from here can accomplish something like this, she said. Esteban lives in a mobile home in Coachella Valley. Her parents are indigenous people of Purepeca descent from Michoacan, Mexico. Did I say it right?
I think it's Michoacan, but I'm horrible with pronunciation.
I am too, because we have Michoacan, there's a taco stand and a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
They're both very good, but I never pronounce it right, so I apologize, Spanish girl. Good grief. I should know these things, and I don't. Anyway, despite having little resources, they have fought to give her and her siblings a better life. Yes, it was worth it because my daughter now has accomplished what she always wanted, her dream of an education. And now, with more reason, I'm very proud that she is completing her goals, her mother said. Esteban
Oh,
says the fear of being low income Latina almost caused her not to apply to the prestigious university.
wow.
According to Harvard's most recent data, 40% of students accepted are white and only 5% are Latino. That's shameful.
Unbelievable.
Well, at first, I was not going to apply to Harvard because I didn't feel like my accomplishments earned me the right to attend such a prestigious university. She said, that breaks my heart. That
Hmm.
breaks my heart. But being a member of a low income family was not her only obstacle. Her high school was forced to close due to the pandemic, like all others across the nation, creating another roadblock in her learning. I am one of the students that also has problems with the internet because I use the internet that was given to us by the district.
Wow.
So, you know that schools were providing internet. So it was not a good connection a lot of times. Because of the low connectivity in the rural area that she lives in, she missed some of her admissions interview with Harvard. But through it
Jeez.
all, her hard work paid off. But after I thought about myself and how I needed to keep fighting, and the pandemic was another obstacle I needed to overcome, Esteban said. Oh my God. Like so many things came up against her and she did it.
I know. It's unbelievable.
It really is. These kids, I mean, and watching their parents like on a lot of videos online have gone viral of these kids finding out they're getting accepted and their
Yes.
parents are with them and the pride
Hmm.
and the excitement. I just got chills talking. I got little goosey bumpies.
Yes.
It's so cool to see these parents that who literally they have worked their whole lives for that moment, for
Yes.
their child. They moved, they left everything they've ever known to make a better life for their children.
Oh,
And I just think it's beautiful. I'm so proud of all these kids. I'm
I
proud of
know.
my own son for excelling this year.
Yes.
We never experienced anything like these kids are going through.
No.
Nothing. Nowhere
Also,
close.
a lot of stuff doesn't mean that everybody had the same opportunities in life, but a lot of the things that we would complain about, and it's like this kid, her parents don't have a lot of money.
Mhm,
They're living in cramped quarters.
mhm,
She's working online with a crappy internet service
mhm.
of no fault of her own.
Yeah,
And she got into Harvard.
Harvard. Yeah. And also, I know we probably don't have a lot of young people, but I wanna say this to older people too, okay? Because it's never too late. It's really not.
Mhm.
If you want to do something, don't say to yourself, "Well, I'm not gonna try because," okay? She
Right.
almost didn't apply because she thought she was too poor.
Yep.
Thank God. I'm so grateful and
Yep.
happy for her that she was like, "I'm just gonna do it anyway." And I would say that that's a great lesson for all of us,
Yes.
children and adults alike. If you wanna do something and you're thinking in your brain, "Oh, this can't happen," or "I can't do it for A, B, and C reasons," just
Mhm.
try anyway if it's something you want.
Yep.
What's it gonna hurt if you're told no? Nothing, because you were expecting that anyway.
Right.
But look what she got out of just trying.
And she got a scholarship.
Full ride, y'all.
Yep.
I I didn't have that. You know, I went to a small state school because it was cheaper for me in my town, right?
Mhm.
Because I didn't get scholarships. I was not that student. But look at her full ride.
It's amazing.
There
It's
I did
very, very inspiring.
and I want to be completely 100% honest. I only applied to one other college that was in St. Louis and I was accepted and I couldn't go because it was too expensive even though I did have a small scholarship.
Mhm.
I did not apply to anywhere else because I knew I wasn't an amazing student. I wasn't a
Mhm.
bad student, but I wasn't 4.0 like my baby sister
Mhm.
was a 4.2, I think.
Oh my
She was
god.
like a genius.
Right.
Um, so I didn't apply. I never heard of Northwestern and all these schools that in our
Mhm.
industry, Emerson, Northwestern, like they
Right.
have such a great industry alumni situation going on and
Mhm.
everything. I never even heard of those places.
Yeah.
Never until I was grown up and lived here. So again, I just want to say kids are freaking amazing and she taught you a lesson today. If you've got something you want to do, find a way to do it. And
Absolutely.
if you're told no, who cares? You tried.
I keep trying to tell myself that a lot lately because I always love to say, oh, well, this is going to happen or what if blah, 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 blah. And I keep trying to tell myself, what's the worst that happens? They say no.
Right.
Not I'm going to get arrested. Not my life is going to crumble apart.
Right.
Anything like that.
I'm
It's
going to
like,
lose my home. I'm going to
you
lose my
try.
security.
Yep.
No,
And
that's not
someone says
happening.
no. Okay. I either
Okay.
try again or I go, this isn't for me. And you move on.
Correct.
Simple as
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, great lesson from
Mm-hmm.
a young person, and wow, I just think it's so cool.
I
I
do
mean, I'm
too.
sure her parents were like bawling. I would be an absolute mess. I would be so proud. I'd be cradling this adult child like a baby. I can't.
Totally. All right. Time for some raves. So, this is a rave that I came across because a lot of people that I know that I used to know through my job in the past were posting about this. This was dealing with a child from people in their community, people that I knew, a lot of people from the same school and stuff, called Ava Grace Candles. For 5 years, Ava Grace fought brain cancer with determination, strength, courage, and humor. She will forever be Sweet 16. Ava lost her battle with brain cancer on August 5th, 2020. So this
Aw,
is very recent.
yes.
Ava supported Children's Hospital since before her diagnosis. She made bracelets and held fundraisers to support CHLA, that's Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Thanks to CHLA and Dr. Ashley Margle, we got to spend 5 extra years with Ava filled with incredible memories. Those
Aw.
5 years were the biggest blessing to all of us. The neuro-oncology program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles treats children with brain tumors and spinal cord tumors, which are the second most common types of tumors in children. It is one of the largest pediatric neuro-oncology programs in the country, treating approximately 170 new patients annually. In addition to conducting cutting-edge research to discover more effective therapies for children with brain tumors, the program offers patients access to the latest treatment options being tested in clinical trials through participation in national and international research consortia. In Ava's honor, we want to do everything we can to help any child or family that gets this diagnosis. All proceeds from this candle will go to Children's Hospital Los Angeles to directly benefit and impact pediatric brain cancer research. When burning this candle, we hope that you remember the bright light that Ava was and that it fills your home with peace and warmth. Thank you for your support. With love, pardon my pronunciation, this is the parents' names, Nagin and Arezu. So I also clicked another link in this
Mhm.
site, and I think I knew this kid, and I don't mean well, but I when I was looking at the pictures, I recognize her from
She's
like my old
beautiful.
boss, her children. I think one of her daughters may have knew this child. Um, anyways, I saw when you click it, there is also a link to a personal page that was started by Ava. I think before she passed. And there's a fundraising goal of $1 million.
Mhm.
And so far, they've raised $318,000, which is
That's
a
wonderful.
lot.
Well, and I also noticed I checked out their Instagram, and I
Hmm.
also noticed back in March they sold out of stock. So
They
people are
did.
really supporting, and I think that's amazing
It's
because
fantastic.
this is a small community of people. This is not some national organization.
No.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And I think probably what maybe helped that, they were featured in like a very prominent, I think it was W Magazine,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was like 10 best candles for your home this spring.
I mean,
And
who
that was
doesn't
one of the
love a candle?
candles. I
Who
know.
doesn't love a candle?
I know. It's a lovely sentiment. You're
Mhm.
getting some I always say that, and that's also like a very Jewish thing to do on somebody's yard site, which
Oh.
actually I will light one on the anniversary of your mother's passing. That's called a yard site in Judaism,
Aw.
and we light a candle. It's a candle that burns for 24 hours.
Aw,
So I
that's
would always tell
good.
people that over the years, like, please light a candle tonight and like hug your child or say a prayer or do whatever you want to do in honor of my brother, per se, or whoever you've lost or who has passed. So
Mhm.
I love the idea of it being a candle in someone's memory.
Yes.
It's also like whenever I go to Notre Dame in Montreal, there's a replica of the Notre Dame Cathedral. They have candles and you can like give an offering and it's like say a prayer for someone who's sick. I did that for my
Mm.
father-in-law when I was in Paris. I went to Sacre-Cœur and I lit a candle and said a prayer for
Wow.
him to, be healed and whatnot.
I love
So
it.
even though the candles are sold out, for anyone who is interested, I do love that they have the donation ongoing, which we'll post to that link too. It's going directly to pediatric brain and spinal cancer research. And Children's Hospital LA is amazing. Dana and I both have known people in our community, through our
Mhm.
comedy community, who have had their children there for a number of issues or
Yes,
things they were born with or things that cropped up later in life. And I know how indebted these people are to the staff and everyone
absolutely.
that works at CHLA.
Yeah.
So
They do
actually,
CHLA als they do all kinds of good organizational fundraising
they do.
and also just personalized events for children. Like, I
Yes.
have a lot of actor friends who have made personal visits, like,
Mm-hmm.
just amazing, amazing
It's
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah. I really
So,
love that, Jessica. Thank you for bringing that to our
yes,
attention.
absolutely.
I really do. It feels a little it hits close to home for me because, someone who I love very much, who's only 15 years old, has been
Mm-hmm.
battling cancer for 2 years now, and
Yep.
we're kind of getting to the last, vestiges of trying to get into remission and not
Mm-hmm.
sure if that line can be crossed, and it's
Mm-hmm.
tough. It's
Yep.
tough. I don't the families that struggle with these situations, they are
Mm-hmm.
literal warriors.
Yep.
Literally, they are warriors. I
Yep.
don't know how they do it.
I know.
Anyway, thank you, Jessica. I really, really, really love that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my rave for this week is the Joseph Learning Lab, which you can find at josephlearninglab.org. Joseph Learning Lab believes that a community can be measured by the importance that it places on the growth of its children. You know why? I
Why?
believe that children are our
Our
future.
future.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Okay?
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Inside. All right. We're committed to maintaining a leadership role in the community as well as be providers of the most innovative, enriching, and educational programs which are presented by degreed and certified educators, tutors, and subject matter professionals in a unique learning environment. Oh, I'm sorry, just people who are really busy and super educated and just want to share their knowledge with
Mhm.
children, even though their time schedule is probably 10 times busier than mine. All right, you guys are amazing. At Joseph Learning Lab, we work to close the learning gap and reduce the dropout rate. Love that. We're focused on developing students of all ages and diverse backgrounds, providing them with an equal opportunity for learning and personal growth. JLL guides students with the use of leading edge technology to produce stimulating educational solutions. I love that so much because
Mhm.
learning should never be boring.
No.
Learning is exciting.
Mhm.
I love it.
Not all children learn the
The
same
same
way.
way. We are passionate about helping students to become empowered and realize their full academic potential. We do this by utilizing the most innovative in class and virtual learning approaches in a comprehensive, accent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was born in the Midwest. It comes out once in a while.
Comprehensive.
And comprehensive range of integrated programs for a first class education. Each student's evaluated and assessed to determine their strengths and weaknesses, and this process allows us to personalize the tutoring sessions to fit each student's educational needs. The individualized learning plan, which I so believe in so hard,
Mhm.
I honestly think that's why my son is excelling during the pandemic
Sure.
because he's getting personalized attention because we don't have a choice right now. It's
Yep.
kind of amazing. It might teach us some lessons.
Mhm.
Each student allowing them to grasp and master learning concepts, to stay on track with core courses, and to excel. To ensure student success, quality tutoring and services are available on school campus, at our organization, or virtual sessions with live online instructors using interactive screens. And I'm telling you,
Hmm.
that does work. You can do it. It sounds like I would have been that old lady that would have been like, nobody can learn like that. You can't focus like that. You can't, I don't ever remember anything. But it is, it's working. To ensure student success, blah, 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 online instructors. The primary benefits that a child achieves at Joseph Learning Lab. First, each child will develop stronger academic skills. Awesome. Second, each child will have better concentration and attention span. Oh, thank God, because I don't even have that. Third, each child will gain more confidence and motivation. Confidence is half the battle. It
Yep.
really is. In every walk of life, I think.
Yeah, I could not agree more.
Fourth, each child will have improved study skills, grades, and test scores. So again, that is josephlearninglab.org. Y'all, us parents, we're in this school boat together. It is not easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with you to say I have help, and it's still hard.
Yeah.
So I get it. josephlearninglab.org. Love it.
I will say, reading that, and especially because it's virtual now, it made me want to look into to see, like, and I understand, obviously, there's some things where it works a lot better if somebody's paired one-on-one with the same mentor for, say, a year or 6 months or even a month. But if it's something that I can do, I really, really, really want to do it. I haven't done something like that working specifically with children in a very long time, and I want to do it.
I used to do young storytellers and all that. And I've always said I feel like I got more out of it than the kids.
Yes. It's so rewarding, and I'm sorry, it's relaxing to me. It's emotional for me. I am that person that will come to your child's school play, pageant, sports game, whatever, and be the one crying, and they'll be like, "Which one's your kid?" I'm like, "None of them.
I don't have one
I'm just so happy."
They're like, "We're calling the police."
Seriously.
Yeah.
But I it's really amazing, and I know one of my old bosses, that is how she met her husband. And she's like, I figured when I started to like think, do I want to go? He had asked her out or whatever. And she goes, I realized we're both here. It was like through a mentoring program in LA. And she goes, if he's here as a guy on his own accord to do this, she goes, I'm going to have to believe that he's a decent person.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really excellent point.
Not a bad point. Yeah.
But yes, if you have the ways or means to do it, volunteer somewhere with kids. My stepmother retired this past year as a teacher of, I don't know how many, but over 30 years as a teacher. She loves it. She didn't want to, but COVID kind of made the decision, right? It's like,
Sure.
all right, because of her age and just like she's had a very long career. We all talked and we were like, nah, maybe you shouldn't go back to school even when they open. But they really miss her. I mean, she's so beloved as a teacher.
Aww.
And they were like, is there any way you'd consider subbing or anything like that? And she goes, no, I don't want to do that in that capacity. What I would like to do is to offer to come in 4 days a week and be there to tutor children who need additional help. And I love it. And she's perfect for it.
Because you know what, Jessica? There were things I struggled with as a child that my parents didn't have the knowledge or patience to help me with. I think our generation of parents
100%.
Did not have patience. Like I have to battle for my patience, but I do have it most of the time. My parents had zero. But there, tutoring was never an option for me. That stuff wasn't free. And we couldn't afford that. So I just had to get like browbeat by my parents and cry when I had homework I didn't understand. So I love that she's doing that.
Yes. I think it'll be awesome. I think she'll probably start maybe in the fall. Yep.
What a wonderful way to give back.
Yep.
And it costs her time, but no money.
Exactly.
That's why we always say, and I know we say it so much you're sick of it, but like it doesn't take just, if you don't have money to give, it doesn't mean you can't help.
Your time and your work as a volunteer in any capacity is invaluable. And that's why I love, if you look at a lot of the things that we have talked about on this show, it literally says donate. But when you click that button, it's not just about the money, or it's like Donating
Your
means donating
time.
your time. So
Yeah,
we need people, it's like, to collect the food that has been donated by different organizations. We need people to physically divvy it up into bags. We need someone to stand there and hand it to someone as they drive up.
absolutely.
And we've always said this, but if everyone did one act of service, my God, one day a year, if
Mhm,
every single person in this country that was able bodied, one day a year at
mhm.
minimum, but one day a year you volunteered and did something, just think about how invaluable that would be and the impact that would have. You don't
Absolutely, and as a parent, speaking out to other parents, think about how that is actively teaching your children compassion,
absolutely.
which is something that I think it's very clear right now
Yep,
our country is lacking.
exactly.
So, I love it. Jessica,
Dana,
I think that's our show.
I think that's our 100th show.
Yay, I'm so proud of us.
I am
Not
too.
because we're good at this. That's certainly not the it's certainly not we're not good at it, but we love it. And I think
We
I love
love
it.
it.
I love it for so many reasons. I love it because I'm constantly learning. I love it because we're
Yes.
meeting people that I consider my close friends and I've never met them in my life.
Same.
I just love it for so many reasons. I love it because I
Yeah.
really can't shut up, and this pandemic's been difficult for an introverted extrovert. So, anyway, congratulations, Jessica. And I love doing this with you.
Oh, congratulations to you and to us. No, I
Yeah,
love it. I couldn't ask for a better partner in this. And man, if we have stuck it out through COVID and through all of the curveballs and things that have been thrown our way in the last 2 years,
it's not been
y-
easy,
no, but we did it.
but we
We
did
did
it.
it and we're here. And thank you all for
Thank you for
anyone
your
who has
support.
listened and continued supporting. And those of you who have been with us from the beginning, and those of you who have just recently jumped on the crazy train
The
with us,
crazy train, yes.
we thank you so much. And please, please continue to send stuff our way.
Oh, how can
Again,
they do that?
you can do it through Facebook and Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can email us directly at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com, and Twitter at raves_the, and through the contact button on our website, www.therantsandраvespodcast.com. We appreciate you. We love you. And again, thanks for holding on tight and coming along on this ride for us.
Yeah, and keep holding on, guys. You know, Jessica are talking. We really do love this. I think after 2 years, you kind of know you like doing it. So there might be some changes coming. Jessica and I have
Mm-hmm.
started talking about maybe adding some advertisements and some Patreon just to help us out with some of our podcast expenses.
Mm-hmm.
It's not been a financially easy year for anybody. We have no
Correct.
expectations whatsoever that people should give us anything.
Right.
So we're just starting that, especially ads, as a way
Mm-hmm.
of helping us pay for our platform, you know, our podcast platform.
Yes.
We have maybe people don't know this, but you can listen to us on YouTube. So we have a thing that
Mm-hmm.
converts everything over to our YouTube, and it adds up. And this is something we care about doing. We'd like to continue doing. So there might be some changes coming, but you know what's not going to change? My hideous laugh or Jessica's voice. Okay, so each week I like to end, and I'll hurry this up. I like to end with something, you know, some random point to ponder, something you may not have known. I like to talk about what we're watching on
Mm-hmm.
streaming or on TV. Jessica, is there anything you're watching you need to share?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
called Dark Side of the Ring.
Sounds like it's right up my alley. What is
Um,
it?
there's 2 seasons. I don't know if that's the end of it or if there's going to be more. It was produced by Vice.
Oh, I love
You know, the
Vice
Vice
stuff.
are
Yes,
amazing.
yes, yes.
It's all about stories that most of us have never heard about wrestling. But I'm talking about the
Oh,
wrestling that was going on when I was a kid. I mean, I have 2 brothers. They were both obsessed with wrestling. So I could either roll my eyes and be by myself, or I could jump on the train and start liking wrestling and Super Mario Brothers.
all
So I
right.
jumped on the train. Okay.
Well, I'll be honest, those are real high trending things. So I think you're pretty cool.
You do not understand how good this show was. The first one, oh my God, is about Randy Macho Man Savage, and it has a lot. a lot of my favorite wrestler of all time, Jake the Snake Roberts. And
Interesting.
Jake the Snake imitates Randy a lot. And I don't know that anything has given me that much joy in a very long time.
Wow. All right. You were really excited about that.
Dark Side of the Ring. Check it out. It's on Discovery Plus, which is a new streaming network, or I believe it was originally, and you may still be able to get it on Hulu. So sometimes just because something's on
Cool.
one network, get it while you can, because it might be like ending its contract with another streaming service. So
Right.
Dark Side of the Ring. Trust
I
me.
just wrote it down.
If you like wrestling, again, especially from the 80s and even when I was in college, man, Monday Nitro, WWF, we loved that when we were in college. We'd have a house
Hilarious.
full of guys over and drink beer and watch
My
Diamond Dallas Page. Woo!
I can't. My first boyfriend was super into wrestling. I never got into it. He loved
Oh
it.
my God, I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a series on Amazon Prime. You guys know me, it's called Serial Killer Culture, and it was fascinating. I want to
Oh.
say it's just a limited series. I want to say it was 5 or 6 episodes featuring interviews with collectors, artists, survivors, authors, forensic psychologists, museums, universities, and more. And it was about like the fandom of it
Mm-hmm.
or the appreciation, like separating the person from the art, which I don't know how I feel about that still. But it was fascinating. So that's on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime. I watched that. And then a listener, y'all know me real well because a listener, I have to read you what she said. So this is our friend Danielle said. So far, there's only 3 episodes. But anyway, I know you like true crime and horror shows and podcasts. I just started one and it's amazing and actually kind of gave me some chills. It's kind of like Haunting of Hill House in podcast form. It's called Beatrix Green. I was like, what? I need this. Yes. And I started it immediately, which I told her starting immediately. I did. I binged all 3 episodes. It's so right up my alley. So here's what
Oh.
I really, really enjoy these. I guess they would be considered what we would, us old people would have called radio dramas.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just audio storytelling and it's a bit cheesy. The characters are a bit, it's overacted. And I love it. I love these stories. I love these creepy things. Anyway, this one's called Beatrix Green, and I already binged every episode available, so I'm on the train.
Wow, way.
Now, for some facts, sometimes I love these fact things, and sometimes I just have a quick one that I horribly drop in your face, and then we say goodbye. But I really love searching for these things. So things like I didn't know that grapes catch on fire in the microwave. Did you?
What? No.
I
By the
didn't
way,
either.
who the hell is microwaving grapes?
There grapes in the microwave, but my dad puts them in the freezer and eats them like candy.
Now that's totally different.
Yeah, that's different. That and bananas in the freezer are different.
He can serve those at his milliner's shop.
Yes.
I want Dana's dad to open a hat shop because he keeps buying her fabulous
He's got me 2 hats that are so cool.
And Dana can rock the shit out of a hat. I cannot. I look like Mayim
Thank you,
Bialik in
Jessica.
Blossom.
You're a
Okay.
crazy person. Well, my son flat out said to my face, "This hat is ugly."
No, it's
and I
not.
told him, "Too bad, mommy can't handle the sun."
You look like, I mean, you literally looked like a fashion model from the 70s. Okay.
Oh, thanks, Jessica.
Yes, I'm serious.
Well, I learn a lot of things, but this week, I send Jessica things throughout the week, annoyingly. I mean, constant. And one of the things I sent you, do you remember me sending you the picture of the frog toilet and me saying, I'm not going potty in a frog's head?
Yes.
It was a full blown
toilet shaped like a frog.
Yes, normal sized toilet shaped like a frog. And you lifted the lid on its head and pee-peed in its head. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
But did you guys know that there is a toilet museum? Jessica's face right now. She's so mad. It's in New Delhi, India. It features rare collection of objects detailing the historic evolution of toilets from 2500 BCE to right up till today. You can learn about toilet systems of ancient societies, elaborately decorated toilets of 18th and 19th century Europe, and even a toilet from Austria shaped like a lion So you can feel like you're riding the wild beast while you do your business.
Okay.
What?
It seems to be a bad connection here. What?
Well, whatever. It's disgusting. I don't like it.
It is
But
disgusting. But
so I'll close that.
admittedly, I would be fascinated to know about their plumbing systems from some of the places I've been to. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I watched a documentary on Roman plumbing one time, and it was really
sure,
fascinating.
100%.
Anyway, we're gonna be back here next Tuesday. Don't put your
Yes.
grapes in the microwave, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Don't, they will catch on fire. Um, Jessica, 100 episodes.
I can't believe it.
And Jessica, she just jumped on board with me. No idea what she was doing. We put together what kind of idea we had, and you've helped me through the good and the bad. Like, I've always loved
Oh,
you anyway, but this podcast brought us so much closer, and I couldn't be more grateful. I just love you so much, and I love what we have created together.
same, lady. I really feel the same way. And yes, thank you so much for asking me. And this has just been a really fantastic, amazing gift in my life, honestly,
Same for
because
me.
it
Same for me.
it gives me something to look forward to every week. I've never been like, God, I hate this. There's a lot of things in my life that I get to a point where I hate it, or we all have days where we don't feel like doing anything, right? But
Absolutely.
with this, honestly, I'm like, hey, it's with Dana. This is really fun. This isn't like,
Mhm.
I got to go get on with that lady and talk for an hour or
And we're
whatever.
trying to also spread good news and good things that we can all
Yes.
do. Like, I sometimes I'm like, I feel like it's so selfish because I've made so many friends and I love doing this and I can't stop talking anyway. So what does it matter? But at the same time, I feel good about what we're doing because I am learning and I'm hoping that other people
Yes.
are too.
Same.
I just love you to bits and pieces.
I love you too.
And congratulations. I'm proud of us.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
Yes, and to all of you out there who are ride or dies, because we know you guys stick through it with us thick and
Yep.
thin. You're hardcore with us, and we couldn't appreciate it more. This is 100th episode celebration for all of us. So,
Indeed.
yay! I love you, Jessica.
Yay. I love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.